I want to show you how to configure your account with Magic Heidi. So you have already entered your name and your address and your IBAN, so you're ready to get paid, but there is much more you can do with Magic Heidi, and we're going to look at it right now. So on the left here, if you go into settings, you have My Company, which is a page you are probably already familiar with, where you can just put your company name, your address, the zip, and the IBAN. There's a few things I want to show you here. First, you can add additional contact details. So if you want to add like a phone number or an email that will be displayed below your name and below your logo in the invoice, you can add that here. Also, if you actually have a second IBAN, like for some reason, sometimes you need payments to go to that IBAN, sometimes to another, you can also add a second one here. VAT, if you are charging VAT, this is where you can set all of this up. We have other tutorials about this, but just so you know, it's here. And finally, custom bank details. This, you kind of want to be careful. It's only if you charge sometimes in other currencies. And you don't want that payment to go to your Swiss bank account. So by default, if you send an invoice in dollars, we're going to use that IBAN on the invoice. But if, for example, you have a Revolut Business account or Wise account and you have special bank details for payments in other currencies, you can enter them here. And what will happen is that they will override the details in your invoice. So instead of the QR code, people will see whatever is here. So let's say that for England, I just have my actual English bank account. Then that will appear if I make an invoice in British pounds. So this is for our page here. And the second page I want to show you is Customize Invoice. So first, you can put your invoice logo here. So here you can just upload the file. Then here we have invoice attachment. This is, for example, if you have terms and conditions that you want to always be part of invoices. So you want your invoice first, and then second, you want terms and conditions about, I don't know, you're a photographer and you want to make clear that the IP, the rights to the picture, still belong to you and people are not allowed to resell them. Then you have the reply to email. So when you send emails with invoices from Magic Heidi, by default, those emails will, like if users reply to those, it's going to come to whatever email is your account email. But if you want to change this because maybe you have some customer support email or you don't want your billing or maybe your Magic Heidi account email is something else, well, you can change it here. And so that whenever customers reply to an invoice that you sent via Magic Heidi, that's where they will reply to. Now here we have the default invoice messages. So you can add messages in invoices. One message is at the top, which is like the short message. Maybe it's the project name. Maybe it's, no, it's just like a one line. And this would be this one. And then you have top message. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm completely wrong here. These messages are the big messages that are at the bottom of the invoice. So this is where you would put long stuff like, thank you for being a customer. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Or this is where you can say, please pay in the next 10 days. Or like it's sort of a longer text that doesn't change from customer to customer. I got a bit confused. And so you can set a default here. Now, what's important is that if you set a default now, it will not apply to your existing invoices. It applies to invoices you create from now on. And this is important because it allows you to still like, I don't know, maybe you have a custom message, but for that specific invoice, you want to change it. And you should still be able to do this. And the way you do this is, for example, if you go into your invoices, you go to the top right here, you can still change whatever. But by default, the default text will be there if you set a default text. So back here, we go a bit down. Then we have signature fields for quotes. So when you send an offer to someone, do you want a date and a signature to be displayed? And by default, it's yes, and that's why it's enabled, but you can remove it if you want. This is a setting if you have a business name that is different from your bank account name. For example, let's say your business is called like Happy Traveling Nathan Ganser. You want Happy Traveling to appear on your invoice, but really when they pay, your bank account is Nathan Ganser. You don't want Happy Traveling to be displayed there. And so you would here write just Nathan Ganser and not Happy Traveling. And this will just change the name in the QR code section. Payment reference is really mostly for people who use Revolut Business because Revolut Business has some weird stuff about how they work with the bank account they give you. Like they give you a bank account, but it's not yours. Other people use that bank account as well. And the way the payment gets to your account is via payment references. And so you need to enter your payment reference. And so if you have a Revolut business account, you would enter your payment reference here and the IBAN of Revolut in the IBAN section that we saw previously. And finally, deadline for payments. This is like, how fast do you want people to pay? You can disable it if you don't want a deadline to appear in invoices. You can enable it, and you can set how many days you want. And this is roughly the sort of core setup you want to do. And if you have done all of this, your invoices are ready. And we'll just check if you want to have a look at it. So here we have the invoice. Here is my address. I didn't add a phone number, so it's empty here. The due date is displayed here. I also didn't add a footer note, so that's why here it's empty. I also didn't add a header note, so that's why here it's empty. I added the logo, and that's why the logo is here. And I also didn't change anything here, so that's why by default it still shows my name in the QR section. Yeah, I hope that was useful, and I wish you a great day.